here we are with Charles and we're checking out the Global Sources Trade Show. Welcome to the 2016 edition, the Global Sources. It always gets better. So let's go and see what's going on. And so Charles, you were just saying a few things about things you've mentioned already, the GoPro knockoffs.
Yeah, well,
many of them around?
Well, if you remember last year, you know, I was the one that predicted that all these hoverboards are going to explode.
Yes.
Because all the batteries coming from the battery industry in the 70s,
yes.
I identified immediately the issues, and the reason why all the hoverboards came out is because someone decided we have excess battery production and let's go and sell it to somewhere.
Yes.
And as a result, now in the States, there's no more imports allowed because all of these devices are fire hazards and homes have been put in fire and so on.
And I saw one of those factories myself.
Oh, did you really?
I saw one.
Was it a factory or was it a workshop?
It was a workshop.
A workshop. Very, this is
there
perfect.
There were boxes everywhere. The batteries came in these blue packets and it had Samsung written on it, but you wouldn't know what was on the inside.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here, going to Waijumbo here in Shenzhen area, where you can go and buy electronic parts and whatever, I actually saw people put Samsung stickers on batteries.
Wow.
And they're sold as Samsung. And in these mobile, you know, hoverboards, Samsung has one battery, but not 100 different styles. So people were just somewhere in China, guy says, I'm Samsung, and going and cheating the factory or the workshop, and in most cases a workshop.
And they didn't have any incoming inspection, which is a big issue. There's a lot of factories in China.
And no knowledge. I mean, they trust their suppliers as we trust these vendors.
Yes.
So here at the show so far, I've done about a quarter of it.
Yes.
Two things. You mentioned before the GoPro knockoffs, which we'll see in a moment.
Okay.
And now we have all these radio manufacturers here. Now in
two-way radio.
Two-way radio manufacturers. Now
Section 9.
Section 9 and 9, and you'll see.
Yes.
I know them intimately because I'm in the radio comms business. I manufacture both radio equipment under my own private label since 2006, as well as smart batteries.
Yes.
But we're going to walk down here, and none of these are the manufacturers.
Wow.
So how do you know? So why don't you come?
Yeah, who is who? That's the big thing. Who is who?
And what's interesting is there's a very famous company called HYT in China. They manufacture to government and railroads, so they're a very legitimate manufacturer. And everyone then comes out with, let's see, well, here we got a GYA, we got a KST, we have all these letter acronyms here. And all these guys are basically, there's only one guy in China that's making all these PCBs for everybody. Wow. And then everyone opens up their little workshop and they think that they're the manufacturer.
So the PCB with the firmware.
Yeah, with the firmware.
And then all they have to do is just put a shell over the top and then they've got their product.
So the same thing when we go into the section where we'll see the GoPro knockoffs.
Yes.
They all look the same. The interfaces look the same. The LCD displays all look the same. So who is who?
Yes.
Very, very hard.
Who is who?
So I'm going to introduce you to a real manufacturer.
Okay.
And again, everyone is just selling products.
Yes.
And when you start asking them technical questions, everything breaks down. So the way to identify who is the actual manufacturer is to start talking about, you know, what are, you know, the attributes. And again, as a sourcer, you know what product you're looking for. If you're specific like me, I know the radio industry, so I know what questions to ask.
Yes.
So those are the things that you need to ask, not the price. The first question is to evaluate quickly whether this is a factory or not. Because here there are 30 of them. Last year there were 15.
Yes.
And you know, you can spend years traveling in China.
Yes.
And everyone's trying to make a buck. Also something important
4 years ago there was 46 of those radio manufacturers. Radio mics. And you said there was only about 3 of them that were really...
Yeah, there are 3. Yeah, there are 3. There are 46. But when you come also to Global Sources Show, it's good to come every year, twice a year.
Yes.
Because you can see who's still there.
Yes, that's very
important. If you
important.
can't go and visit the factory, who is still there? So don't buy this year. Don't buy in the spring. Let's come to Global Sources in October and see if the same company is still here.
Yeah.
And if they're still selling the same products they advertise.
So that's why it's important to come every 6 months, even if you're not buying every 6 months.
Exactly.
Just to get in the feel and really get a sense of...
You know your market. Everyone says price, price, price. I take a brochure, I put it in there. Obviously, I know my market just as many of the buyers. You're seasoned, you know what's real.
Right.
And again, sometimes it's not price sensitive or time sensitive,
right,
where you already have a business. So it's not important to make a decision this quarter. You can make it in quarter 3. Yes. So here's a real company. They've been around for a long time. I'm going to try to find out. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Here. He's been here since 2005.
Wow, Chinsing Electron Science and Technology. So this one's good.
Yeah, so this is Ken. He's the owner.
Yes.
And here we have Melinda. So she's
in
charge of sales.
Hi, Linda.
Something very important when you're going around is you see the same people.
Right.
This is their staff. You go to their factory, they're there. Wow. You go to the factory 3 months later after the show.
Shenzhen.
No, they're not. No, they're not in Shenzhen.
Fujian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've been there at the factory many years.
Right.
And just like for me, sometimes they don't have perhaps what I need.
Yes.
So through Melinda and Ken, and we know each other for, since 2006.
Yes.
They've created products, finally, something that fits my niche.
Wow, that's
after 2 years of discussion.
Yes.
So
getting the right firmware and things, because a lot of the customizing is with the firmware, isn't it?
It's the firmware, and that's what makes the difference.
Right.
Now, they obviously are a real manufacturer, so you'll recognize some of their radios in some of these other booths, because those are resellers. Those are not the factory.
Yes.
So we just joked. I said, I came back, I walked here, and I said, wait a minute, I got hit by another 20 manufacturers here. I came back to Ken, I said, yeah, I see some of your products there, but they say that they're the manufacturer. So again, if you talk technical, and you're talking directly to an engineer, you then evaluate who it is. So, so now I've never seen so many radio manufacturers, just like in the IWCE show that we had in Las Vegas last month.
Yes.
All of China was there. I didn't have to come here. Half of the Chinese manufacturers are there. And in the States,
real factories?
No. And everyone in America knows.
Yes.
They know who is who.
Right.
Because in America, we're very sophisticated, and we ask about repeaters, we ask about technology, and then when someone then says, here's my laptop, look what we're doing here countrywide.
Yes.
That gives someone that's educated in my material that they're the real people.
Ken, is it?
Yes, that's Ken.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you.
Going to try your Chinese?
我很高兴见到你啊！我叫柯冠伦柯冠伦 Yes. Yeah. 我在香港教师24年了。谢谢我很高兴见到你谢谢。
It's my dog.
Pleased to meet you. Welcome. Pleased to meet you. Welcome. So very good, Charles. So this is
so this is real.
Now you have another booth for yourself here.
Yeah, Anderson.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's a real battery manufacturer, and the same thing here.
Right.
Guys over there, they're copying an Impress Motorola battery with a chip that's 5 years old.
Right.
No technology. Price.
Wow.
Unbalanced cells, and that's why on the hoverboards we had all the fires, because no one knows how to make anything. They're workshops. So again, for a new buyer, sometimes that's why we recommend go and see the factory, especially if it's vital to your company's survival, and it's a long-term relationship. It's not the product that's of the show when it's gone next year or gone in 6 months.
Yes.
And again, you're going to walk down here and there's radios all over the place. And again, there are approvals too, so you have to ask: do you have FCC? Do you have SD card? You have Bluetooth, so again, if you know your market, you will then be able to identify who's the real manufacturer versus who's just a workshop.
But they may not have the license.
That's right.
That's the other thing too.
Yeah. Now, so we're going to just walk down here.
All right.
You'll see some more radios.
Okay.
And then we're going to go and see the the GoPro knockoffs.
Okay, let's go and see.
So this year, the big deal is hundreds of radio manufacturers, not 100, there's about maybe 30 now here, 30 workshops.
Very confusing. It's confusing for the average.
Well, yeah,
person,
especially I met someone, very interesting, I met someone in the plane, in the line to the plane from Tokyo yesterday.
Yes.
And he owns a logistics company. He met a fellow in Hong Kong that said, I want you to sell some products, so I'll finance you the products, and why don't we go to the show and pick up some products? And I said, well, that's all very nice if you bought products before from China. No. Well, I said, you better come to some of our seminars that we put on, or look at the resource materials that you put on, because I'm saying it's a Pandora's box.
Wow.
You're asking for trouble. I said, I hope you're willing to lose a lot of money, because first time, you know, I did not have the resources that we started first with the global sources in 2005, 2006 in Shanghai with Bernie. Then we migrated with Mike, with Passage Maker, and doing the China Information Sourcing Center. Now you're gone to the next level with your group.
Yes.
But sourcing here is not easy, and it's not easy even for the large companies. Where someone ordered 300,000 tablets and they have no HDMI or SD licenses. So as the importer of record, you have to pay the penalty, and if you don't have that money, you've just lost whatever you put on a
Then they'll just put that in a container and send it back for recycled goods.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. Show us what we got. All right.
谢谢, thank you.
谢谢.
Very good.
谢谢.
So here again, if you're, again, I'm in the radio communications business, and there are always people selling batteries all over the place.
Yes.
Knowing how batteries are made, back in 2007, I qualified them as the only manufacturer that knows how to assemble batteries, because they take cells and they balance the cells and put them together and so on. Where all the other manufacturers don't do that, and you can very easily find that out by opening up the battery, destroying it, and doing measurements. But here, this is the only booth that has technology where, again, companies that are smart, they will have patents. So they have a Chinese patent, we have a US patent, and I say we because I'm now associated with them doing their international sales. So you'll see lots of these batteries, and like maybe 6 or 7 booths in this little area, that no one has this. So all of a sudden the buyer will say, this is a real company. So again, knowing your business, with information.
That's very, very important,
so the same thing, just like we did the radio manufacturers, someone has something that's unique, oh wow, that has to be the real manufacturer, not a workshop.
Now, Anderson is still doing you're doing smartwatches too, is that right?
Well, this is one of their associates. Basically, they're making special batteries for iPhones and tablet PCs. So they're sharing the booth. They're sharing the booth.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, and they're related, nephew and whatever, so they're related.
That's amazing. But Anderson, remember that name.
Yeah, there you go.
It's very good.
Okay, let's go. Well, no, we got to see the little the little GoPro knockoffs, and then I'm out of here.
All right.
Well, then if I see something, I'll certainly let you know.
All right, let's go and see the GoPro knockoffs. Pleased to meet you. Yes, we'll be back. We'll be back. Thank you.
Very good.
All right.
Well, what's very interesting, you just mentioned, a lot of the foreign buyers that are coming from India, Russia, I call some of them emerging countries, including Russia, pardon my French, that they are also buyers.
I'll get you. You can get in front of us?
They're also buyers
on the east side. The side of us.
They also, these buyers, like for example in India, they beat up the manufacturers because they're price oriented.
Oh yeah, that's just a price lower, and then the factory says, no worries.
Yeah, sure.
You get what you pay for.
Well, exactly. So that's where you're getting all of these, because of the word is out, where you have these programs now that we're helping the buyers. The first thing they have to understand, you cannot get something for nothing. You have to pay for it. So when I used to, 3-4 years ago, everyone would drag me into their radio booth and say, Mr. Charles, oh, how are you this year? Oh, cheaper. I said, no, what do you have that's the most expensive? What do you have that's new? Oh, we give discount. So again, you know, in China, in the domestic market, that's one of the other pressures that either the factories or the workshops have to be faced, where their costs are escalating, but everyone wants, or everyone in the sales and marketing department says we're cheaper, not better. No differentiation. So now we're approaching our
GoPro section.
Our GoPro section.
Oh, this will be interesting.
So we're going to hit right the first row down there. And again, it really impacted me, where I've never seen so many GoPro knockoffs at the Global Sources show. And I'm sure at the Wanchai show it'll be even 3 times the size.
Wow.
And what do you do? You know, I mean, here's someone that has dash cameras. But let's just go into this other. Here we go. Here, look at this. Here we got GoPro cameras. And you see here we have a GoPro knockoff. Okay, in a nice little environmental housing.
Some people can buy that.
Oh yeah.
But still, it can still work.
Oh yes, but
oh, thank you very much.
But now here's another one, the same look. And the biggest one is over here. They have a huge stand.
But they might be. But some of them are deliberately.
Another one.
Some of them are deliberately making their own brand.
Well, they're all the same.
We know they're the same.
They have their own brand. But now, if you're looking to be long-term in business, what about warranty? Here they're here for the show. They're going to sell 15,000, 20,000, 100,000 units. Are they going to be there next show? And can they repeat the orders?
So if I was buying here, I'd ask, do they have a sales office in the US or something like that?
Even more important, give me the name of your top 3 or 4 customers that have purchased from you products for the last 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
So it's again, remember when we talked about the radio manufacturers? Let's go and see if they're here in October at the next show. Well, I maybe have to accelerate things. Give me the names of some of the people that you're selling to over the last 2 years in my own country. Now, if they may hesitate because it may be a competitive situation, then flip it around. I'm from United States, then, well, why don't you give me the name of your top 2 or 3 or 4 resellers or distributors in Canada or in England or in Australia, where we all have the same level of expectations of quality. And then you can evaluate. And then also, when you're calling those so-called distributors or resellers in your native country or in adjacent countries, you then can go and board down and say, how's the product working? Are the deliveries on time? Do the gift boxes look good when they come in? Have you had warranty issues? How are you handling warranty? Are you paying them all up front 100%, or are you doing staggered payments? So that then gives you a quicker overview then after the show within weeks to then make a decision and say, I can't make it to the factory, but I have reasonable confidence because this company has bought 50,000 pieces over a year or 2 years or 6 months, whatever.
Makes a difference.
But as you walk down,
the risk is product returns.
The risk is product returns, especially with these devices.
Like you can control for licensing, you can check that. Independent sources, you can check that. But you get product returns that damages your brand. It could put you out of business overnight.
Especially if you're putting your name on their product.
Private label. Buyers, be careful.
Very, very, very.
That's the next best thing now. The Amazon buyers and the thing of private label. Like private label means lawsuit risk, right?
You're the importer of record, and it's your reputation out there.
Exactly.
So everyone is so excited because they say we're cheaper than GoPro. And even GoPro's business has gone down this last year.
You know, GoPro have really, their product, I don't know, is not that much better with the price, but that's another question. But they got the sales support, they got the warranty, they got everything else to support.
But some of these products are half the price.
Yes.
at half the price at the buying side. So that means that you can be 20% less on an internet-based store and make a pile of money.
That's the thing they're doing now.
Now, also the same thing is when you're dealing with all these plastic cases and whatever.
Yes.
A lot of the companies that are selling in this marketplace the plastic cases, they forget about using UV-resistant plastics. So one of the big things, they're in the sun and all of a sudden they're now yellowing. So now here you have a great camera from a good manufacturer.
And you got a yellow cover over it.
Exactly.
Wow. And
also some of these polycarbonates aren't real polycarbonates, so they're getting scratched.
Right.
So again,
Bayer owns a lot of the patents on polycarbonate.
Yes, they do.
Bayer Technology, look for that. Do they have that?
Yep. We've heard stories of a lot of the Chinese GoPro knockoffs. All of their even their lenses are yellowing.
I didn't hear that. That's the first I've heard.
That's brand new. That's brand new.
This is not even electronics. Nothing to do with electronics.
Just the mechanics.
Or just the materials.
Yeah, just the materials chosen.
In the sun, it goes yellow. Wow.
So
Charles,
again,
very good. Welcome back. Hong Kong.
Thank you.